Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Friday to you on this July 11th, 2025. I have all of your stories for your rush hour ride home. A lot of stuff to get into today. Do we have a new podcast studio, maybe on a floating island? We'll share that. And then Real Housewives of Rhode Island has been filming with a Bachelor crossover. I'll let you know about that. And Laura Owens, scam artist, faker of pregnancies and ovarian cancer and a lot of other things, is back in the news, not only because she has reactivated her restraining order, I should say extended her restraining order against Mike Maricini, but because her lawyer has been arrested for a DUI. I'll share what people are saying about that wild story. Karma is a biatch, as they say. And then we've got Jeffrey Epstein. Speaking of karma here, can we get some karma for the victims? Jeffrey Epstein in the news as Alan Dershowitz, his former attorney, says there is a client list there. The information is out there. They're suppressing it. And now we've got Steve Bannon, pretty big in the MAGA party, wanting a third-party investigation, independent investigation. I'm all for it. We got that, and then more conversation about the ethical issue of ICE, what we can do to kind of restore some humanity to our country. I think we can all support humanity, right? All these stories and more, they start right now on The Rush. And as we dive into it, this is kind of just for fun, although, hey, you never know. There's an abandoned island in Illinois selling for $200,000. My question is, can we get some Starlink internet there and maybe make this the center of our podcast empire? Can we do this?
Well, if you've ever dreamed of owning your own private island, this could be your chance. Take a look. This island is right on Grass Lake near Antioch in the chain of lakes. It's pretty much been abandoned for the last 25 years. A little over an acre close to Blarney Island. It could be a steal for somebody out there. The price just dropped down to $200,000.
What?
And I know you DIYers out there, because I see you on my social media feeds. I bet you this could make a really cool reality show.
All right, here's what we need. We need that guy from SB Mowing to come in. We need him to help us kind of clean things up. And then I need a couple shipping containers, some Starlink internet, and we have ourselves an island. Maybe I'll put out a little dock out, so if anyone wants to listen to a live episode, you can float on up on a pontoon boat. How about that? All right, well, spotted. I don't know. I don't have verification of this, but Bachelor Nation's Ashley Iconetti was seen filming Real Housewives of Rhode Island. This was provided by TikTok creator Mikey Baby. They say it's an official confirmation there. She's worked, of course, outside of Bachelor as a correspondent for Access Hollywood. And her husband, Jared, has been featured on our show as we did a Driving with Dave with Jared. They, of course, have a little coffee shop there in Rhode Island. I was actually there a few weeks ago. Not at the coffee shop, but I was in South County going to the beach there when I was at home visiting family. But there it is. Real Housewives. I mean, I don't know. What are they going to fight over in Rhode Island? The clam chat. They're going to, rather than throw wine at each other, they're just going to throw clam chowder at each other. All right, but I'm down to watch it. Actually, she's the one who basically cries over everything. Good for her, I'm sure tears will be flowing. All right, well, couple updates. Laura Owens is trying to get a motion to remand to the grand jury be extended. Okay, what does this mean? That didn't make any sense. Motion to extend time to file motion to remand to grand jury. They're stalling. That's what this means. They are stalling. Client control issues has been the major issue with Laura Owens, right? No lawyer, every lawyer she's had has either dropped her or she's filed bar complaints against her lawyers. It never ends well. And that foreshadows what's going on with her current lawyer, Baby Jingy. But here, probably my guess is her current lawyer, Joshua Colesrud, he must be regretting this. So she, of course, filed, and a lot of people think she did this rogue, like without her lawyer's permission. She filed to extend her restraining order against Mike Maricini in California. Mike Maricini, my guess is, will fight this. It's going to cost him a lot of money. We're going to be doing live streams to help raise funds, maybe $5,000, $10,000, because we want him to fight this. If he has the right legal team surrounding him, he can enter all of this new evidence that he has that she faked domestic violence, ovarian cancer, and all these other things, because we verified that through the laptop information. So Mike Maricini, in the past, has not had the help of the Justice for Clayton community to fight allegations against her. It was kind of a he said, she said. And as we see how that plays out, she's just been able to continue unchecked, keeping these restraining orders against these men, which is keeping them from massive job employment opportunities. They're having issues traveling, getting through security. It's damaging to their character. And the buck stops with us. Laura hasn't won a single damn thing since we got involved, and neither has her attorney. Breaking news by Justice for Clayton official. This was shared on the subreddit Justice for Clayton and all over. David Jingris, we call him Baby Jingy, Laura's aggressive family attorney, arrested for drunk driving. Now, this wasn't the first time he was arrested. He was arrested years back and received probation. And will this be enough for him to lose his law license? I'm not really sure. There's 11 bar complaints against him. I don't want to sound like the cool kid, but I think I filed the first bar complaint. It was really eye-opening after I filed my bar complaint because I could almost feel the lawyers laughing at me as I talked to them. You know, I'm talking to the lawyers of the Arizona bar, and I'm sort of explaining to them like, hey, you know, he's harassing my family. He's threatening to make me homeless. He's doing all these things. And they were basically like, well, we'll kind of tell him to rein it in, which of course he did anything but rein it in. He came after the credibility of other lawyers like Rachel Warz, which actually was very interesting because Rachel Warz posted this. As you all know, I rarely take victory laps. Take a victory lap, Queen. And I like to stay out of the fray. Stay in the fray, Queen. Indeed, I stayed almost quiet. Don't stay quiet while a certain Arizona attorney, Baby Jingy, insisted I was, among other things, batshit crazy for forming the same legal opinion as the esteemed Judge Julie Mata and at least 3 justices of the Arizona Court of Appeal. Other than one clever post about cookies, I have let my debate with David Jingris, facilitated by the one and only Reality Steve, speak for itself. With that said, the last 24 hours have brought news of 1, my 3rd Emmy nomination. Go, Queen, get that Emmy, get that hardware, Queen. And 2, that special Arizona attorney's 2nd DUI arrest. Hey, that's a good trivia. Who's got more arrests? David Jingy. And who's got more Emmys? Rachel Warz. She's got more nominations, at least I should say. Good bonus trivia for you. So either way, she says, sending love to all the content creators who have been fighting to shed light on this important story and trying to bring justice to the many victims here. Now, I gave my initial response to this on Instagram and TikTok. You can go check it out. But essentially, I just go to show, like, I'm not here to dance on the metaphorical grave of David Jingris, although he did say he wouldn't read my obituary. Well, look who's still standing. I'm actually sitting right now, but you get the point. He's going to be sitting in an Uber because he's going to lose his driver's license. Okay, you see what I did there? Listen, the guy needs help. Clearly. So does Laura Owens. We all need help, right? We all need help. So on one side of me, I still employ empathy. I feel bad for him. I feel bad that he's like got clearly issues that are robbing him from being the best version of himself. I feel bad for Laura as well. Laura is a relatively normal looking person in society who could have a thriving life, but I don't know if she fell off her horse and hit her head as a child. I have no idea what's wrong with her. I truly don't, but I do feel bad for them. But the collateral damage that exists is something we also have to care more about. Like, I care more about the possible people he could kill driving drunk. I care more about the multiple men who's had their lives turned upside down because of Laura Owens unable to deal with rejection. I care more about that than I care about their personal feelings. And as we've seen, Laura's, threatened suicide and threatened self-harm and calls the FBI and the FBI investigates her because of all of these public threats she makes. And we feel bad for her, but that doesn't mean we can't do the right thing, which is say, stop it. Now that I'm a dad, I can finally say, knock it off. Quit drunk driving, David Jingis. Laura, quit faking pregnancies. I can now start wagging my finger and, say, look, Laura, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. You know what I mean? Can really make it burn. So either way, fascinating stuff. DUI, liquor, drugs, vapors combo. I don't know if he had all of that or if that's just the category, $1,600. DUI with blood alcohol content 0.08 or more, $1,600. And then speeding as well, $332. So they kind of nabbed him for the whole thing. When you're gonna drunk drive, go the speed limit. If you're driving high, go the speed limit. Don't go 20 under the speed limit. Then you're really high. No, don't do it. Don't do any of that. Don't do any of that. But also don't get caught. But don't do it. Absolutely don't do it. But I tell you what, if this is his 2nd DUI, that means I'm telling you right now, if you have 2 DUIs, you have driven drunk hundreds of times. Okay. How bad would his luck be that the only 2 times he ever was a little over the limit? Now, again, we don't know how drunk he was. Was it a 0.09? Was it a 0.15? What was it? We'll know by the bloodshot in his eyes when the mugshot comes out, and I'll be here to cover that for you guys. So yeah, pretty just wild stuff. Megan Fox says that first cup of coffee after your enemies have been arrested. So there it is. I mean, listen, burn your calories, queen, as you take your victory lap. I got my steps in today. I didn't even walk. I got my steps in by taking a mental victory lap over how right we have been. I'm not right about a lot of things. I've dealt with a lot of failure in my life, but boy, can I tell you with an honest vibe that I did everything I could to stop this mother effer, her whole charade, her conspirators and everything. I wish I would put that energy to bigger causes, but right now that's where it stands. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to read what a lawyer thinks about this crazy restraining order that Laura has extended. We have a lawyer that likes to write in, and they do great work. They really are so poetic with what they write. So Laura Owens is filing to extend her restraining order against Mike Maricini in California. Why is this interesting? Well, this might open her up to all of these other legal issues now that she's actually being charged with crimes in Arizona. So this was the response we got from a lawyer following that Laura is reigniting the flame with Mike Maricini. What a stupid, petty move on Laura's part, but mainly stupid. She voluntarily put herself back under California's jurisdiction. She lied on documents filed in their court. By the way, I have that button. I haven't used it in forever. Oh boy, my ADHD is really forcing me a new one here, but it's been a while since oh, there it is.
She lied.
There it was. She lied.
She lied.
That was, of course, the great Greg Woodnick in the courtroom talking about Laura. She lied on documents filed in their courts while she is being prosecuted in Arizona for 7 felonies, including four perjury counts with aggravated circumstances. And also, while she and her family currently are running on alleged GoFraudMe scam targeting California senior citizens that has gained attention in local San Francisco media. Her Arizona lawyer must be apoplectic tonight and has to go into criminal court tomorrow in Arizona to defend this dumbass. By the way, I'm laughing because this was written to me before they knew that he got a DUI. So, he was apoplectic, all right. Yeah, could you imagine if Jingris, if his defense is, sorry, I was drunk. It's because my client has client control issues and she's forced me back onto the bottle. So whether he makes it to criminal court for her, or if he's just in it for himself, nobody knows. I know that it looks like a setback for Mike to be dragged back into this mess again, and of course it is in certain respects. My heart goes out to him more than any other victim in this saga. However, on the bright side, Laura's vindictive and boneheaded move might really backfire spectacularly in ways she did not anticipate. This may open the door to get his computer evidence in the California courts and help the feds or San Francisco DA, or both, open their own criminal investigations. As Mike is not going through this alone anymore, he has you guys and thousands of people in the community you've built to support him now, along with his beautiful family. Perhaps there are even California lawyers in the Justice for Clayton community like Omar who can help him fight her this time around. Perhaps there might finally be justice for Mike. I think we will get justice for Mike, and I do think he's going to be, receiving great legal representation. And just keep an eye out for when we do the donation, maybe live stream or whatever we do to try to raise money, a telethon of sorts. All right, coming up next, I've got the Epstein story. It's going to blow off your socks.